Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Realistic Road to Glory. Time to try and go and qualify for next season's European competitions. Or one of them at least. Whether that be via a league finish or via the FA Cup, we shall find out in due course. We start with a trip to Old Trafford today in said FA Cup 4th round. We obviously knocked out Wickham in yesterday's episode in the 3rd round. It might be the episode before that. In the 3rd round. And we're aiming to get a bit further today if we possibly can. We're then relegation threatened still, Newcastle, followed by Fulham, and then we'll sim Leicester away as their second bottom right now. Then tomorrow's pretty straightforward. There may well, hopefully will be, an extra FA Cup game in there somewhere. And then the end of the season should be, well, straightforward in terms of how we format the episodes. In terms of how things go on the pitch, I really don't know at this particular moment in time. Obviously, the league has been very, very kind to us thus far. But as we've said previously, our run-in is all of the difficult teams at once. So we're having all of the games where we'd expect to pick up points in a lump, and then all of the games where we'd expect to pick up not many points at all in a lump. So I'm expecting a fall-off. It's just a case of can we stay in touch with these European positions during the course of that fall-off. If not, then the FA Cup is going to come in handy in terms of trying to qualify for next season's European competition. But to do that, we have to make sure that we beat Manchester United. So let's go and do that, shall we? Saying thank you to Aztec, Chris, Blake and Gaming Be Fly on the board behind me for your continued support in the comment section. Thank you very much indeed. We're going to crack on without any further ado here to go and face Manchester United at Old Trafford. Then fingers crossed, FA Cup 5th round, not too far away. Man United playing the formation, but sometimes it actually, more often than not recently, it's actually worked quite well against me. Lucas Perry in goal for them. Smets, Mosquera and Calafiori at centre-back. Then Kaya, Ilic, Haidara, Mendoza, Hunt, Mount and Lois Openda is the front line. The bench is not great. They have the 11. They have their 9 on the bench, and that's the squad at the moment. So Manchester United literally have everybody they could possibly have available ready to play on this particular match day. Hopefully, though, we can get the result still. Clarkson with the turn. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's really well done. Ordinarily, we would rotate in the cup, but given the fact that it's a strong opponent and there's plenty of time between fixtures at the minute, I have put out basically a full first team 11 here. Clarkson gets a little bit lucky there. Bulak could wind up from distance. A lot of shots blocked from distance on this year's game, isn't there? But Lanksy's going to hopefully get a turn in here, and he does, and the shot is decent, but Perry makes a good save. And we start by having an opportunity, but not by scoring. I thought he'd thrown that straight off the pitch there, but Hunt's out there. Jordan Hunt, obviously a Patreon player, as we may have mentioned in previous games against Manchester United. Lanks here looking for Dibbling, trying to get it on that left quickly, and the plan was to hopefully wrong foot the defender, but Smets dealt with it well. Still, no opportunity for us in this game to take the lead, and Marcus Rashford is retiring. That's how far we are into a save right now. Marcus Rashford is retiring at the end of this season. I don't think I've ever gotten to the point of Rashford retiring in a save ever before. Mount kicks the ball straight at Raskin there. Forward inside to Lanks, who's actually turned really well, and Dibbling with the inside run, and on his left foot forces a good save out of Perry. I was travelling towards the corner, but not quite close enough into the corner to actually go in. Longhorse is up for this. Clarkson could nod this down, and it's Palacio that's there. Early first-time shot by Clarkson, and that's why you don't shoot first time sometimes, because that was the worst shot he's ever had in his entire career. Good header by Mikic. Clarkson short. We are bossing the overall flow of the game, but haven't been able to actually get the lead yet. Lanks has made a great run there on the back of that, and I've gone the other way with Dibbling this time, and that fooled the defender, but Perry's there again. Keeper keeping the minutes here at the moment, but that's what he's paid the big bucks to do. Longhorse has paid the big bucks, not necessarily to score goals, to be fair to him, but you still expect his heading accuracy to be slightly better than that. It's Kaya. Around the corner well. Hunt picked off by Longhorse nicely. But for Lankshire. Mason Mount Illich has picked that off really well, actually. Good anticipation. And first save Bergstrom's had to make in the 45th minute. Openda very nearly giving them the lead at the end of the half. Illich with the delivery. Ouattara will head clear. And I don't imagine there'll be much time added on here. If I can win this off the defender. And if I had someone further forward to chase after that, then... Oh, it was a heavy touch by Kai. I nearly got there. We nearly did it. It will be 0-0 at the half, but Man United are taking risks. Hello, it might not be 0-0 at the half. It'll be 0-0 at the half. To work this about, Lankshire's made a great run. He's not able to use Dibbling yet. Can do now. Dibbling's in behind. Do Calafiori with the footwork and Dibbling shots blocked. Bula, first time Lancashire. Good save by Perry again. How many times have we said that so far in this game? Bula delivers. It's Dibbling that could be underneath it. Clarkson chasing after this, but Mendoza just hooks. And anywhere will do for Man United to get rid of it. This is fine. We'll get this out wide here. Smith Rowe. And looking for Lancashire on the run. Took a bit too long. Bula. Never mind. Manchester United 0, Bradford City 1. With the run of play, absolutely deserved. At last we take the lead. Ash is like, yes! Finally! Well, Lancashire's going. He's on the shoulder of the defender. He's in behind. And Lancashire will bury this. Early in the season, I wouldn't have had any confidence whatsoever to shoot like that with Lancashire. I'd have taken my extra pace, tried to turn on his right and bend it in the corner and probably missed the chance. But now, when you just act on instinct with a man in this sort of form, it flies tops. Great run, great goal. Progression through to the 5th round of the FA Cup. Rashford. He's got the through ball option. And Mendoza forces the save. But Bergstrom's determined to keep a clean sheet continually. Mendoza with the delivery from the far side. And flicked on well, but straight into the arms of the keeper. Just take my time here with 90 seconds left in game. And certainly that's not going to be 90 seconds in real life. We're through to the next round of the FA Cup by keeping a clean sheet and scoring twice at Old Trafford. Man United are much better than they were a couple of seasons ago in this save. But we are still better. Newcastle still only a few points above the relegation zone with a continually got a very good team. Their midfield obviously took a downturn in the summer, as we saw, with all 3 of their first team players leaving. They haven't replaced them in January, so we'll wait and see if they actually do any replacements the following summer. Certainly, of course, the Patreon player Dylan will have higher potential, but Willock and Sambi Lagunga are dead weight, really, for the sort of level that Newcastle should be aspiring to. Philip Jurgensen in goal. Our former fullback, Alfie Doherty, at right back for them. Diaz, Shutalo and Udogi. Sambi Lakonga and Joe Willock with Dylan in there too. Rodrigo, 91 rated still. Evan Ferguson and Sheldrup on the bench. They've got Moise Keane as a striking option. A couple of fringe players. Well, Aaron Hamilton is another Patreon player, a striker on this occasion. Samuel Chukwueze is an alternative wide option as well. So there are options for Newcastle, and I can't tell you why they are where they are in the league, because even though that midfield isn't the best, it's also not the worst, is it? Lancashire has now grown to 84, which will make the summer even more intriguing for us. Significantly more expensive as well, quite frankly. Sara starts and Adbinon starts as well. The only 2 changes from the game against Man United in the FA Cup. Midfield 3 are actually causing me some problems here because I can't find a way through them. Mikic out to Sara. Mikic around the outside maybe. He is going. And he's gone. Dibbling with great positional sense to back away. But not the finish on the end of it. The first chance comes. The first chance goes. We don't take the lead early doors again. Rodrigo inside. Looking for the 1-2. We'll get the 1-2. An early ball too. But Longhorse is there. Bulak forward to Sara. Lancashire in the gap. Dibbling round the corner. Destiny Udogi, though, is going to be one of the hardest fullbacks to play against that he's had to challenge with all season. But we've managed to work it around him. Gabriel Sara, Lancashire and Dibbling all combining multiple times to slam the ball in the back of the net. We lead by a goal to nil at St James's Park. Let's just run around me there, Dylan. And he's kicked it straight into Mikic. Thanks, pal. We'll go Lancashire first. Dibbling's just off there, I think. I'll try and hit it early. I didn't even get the chance to. Stunning last-ditch challenge from the defender. That was actually very good indeed. Rodrigo. Rodrigo's maybe on one occasion since he arrived at Newcastle has he looked like the 91 rated player that he is. But in general, I can't say he stood out as supposedly one of the world's best talents. Wingers for the AI never tend to, at the very top end, be the best. We've seen at Championship level and at League One level some wingers have massive impact against us multiple times, like Kelvin, who we ended up signing from Reading ultimately to bring into our own fold. But at this top level, it's very rare that we actually see a wide man really kick on and be genuinely world class against this. It's more the strikers that do that. Case in point, Maximilian Bayer for Leeds, continually just being the thorn in my side. But we've got them on a real counter-attack here. Shutala's come across. Christ knows what he's doing there. And Agbalon. And Lancashire in 2. Comfortable against Newcastle. They might have some good individuals. They are not a good team. Bulak trying to close down Willett. Can't. Ferguson. Oh, Bergstrom. Looked like he just made the decision to rush out a little bit to narrow the angle. And very nearly lost his footing there as the ball was on its way past him. Newcastle do, just as Man United did, have the quality to score the odd goal against us. But I'm surprised Bergstrom has been able to adjust to Premier League level as well as he has. Certainly that, all right Ferguson, certainly that big 6'9" frame makes a big difference. I don't imagine, say, a 6'3" or 4" goalkeeper with similar stats would have been anywhere near as effective as Lucas Bergstrom. There is, of course, still talk of signing a higher rated goalkeeper for next season for European football, or just in general for, in case of a video game aspect, simulating games. And I agree, Bergstrom at 79 rated isn't going to give us the best of opportunities in simulated games, but I just can't justify taking him out from a realism point of view, can I? Because he got the Golden Glove, I think, in the Premier League last year. He's got the Golden Glove so far in his back pocket this year. I just couldn't time that right with the turn for Dibbling. Although Sarah is left-footed, although finessing a shot from 30 yards is evidently not his strong suit. But we could have made it 3-0 there. And the biggest point there I'm making is Bergstrom's not going anywhere. Sambi Lakonga. Oh, well in, Bula. Marco's done really well there. Lancashire's going to make the right run. Agbenon's going to have the pace to be around the corner. And Asher makes it 3. No real surprise there. That was always going to happen when you afford someone with that amount of space. Sorry, that amount of pace, that amount of space. An assist and a goal for Asher Agbenon on his return to the starting lineup. And, well, you can hear the boos from the home fans. To be fair, justified. Stands the ball up nicely. Dylan brings it down. And Sambi Lakonga, nope, doesn't get the chance to score a consolation goal for boys in black and white today. Sarah getting away. To be fair, Lancashire made a good run there and I probably should have used him instead, but I can use him now. Did I time that well enough? I don't think so. No, Shutalo's done well. Get to that. Shutalo could be genuinely an option for us at centre-back next season. Oh, it's very rare that you spin Ruben Diaz quite so convincingly. But not able to find the finish there. Lancashire going off and Mukoko coming on. Bulak going off as well for Akin Samiro and Flint coming on for Longhorse. We could have made it 4, we didn't. The doggy. Bring a midfielder across to try and deal with the run of the fullback. Raskin has done exactly that. Through that gap. Then forward to Mukoko was the plan. A little bit delayed with the pass. Space for Dibbling here. It's a lovely turn by Raskin. Dibbling looking for Mukoko. Mukoko on his left. Should have used the run of Akin Sanmiro coming through the middle. Saw him just as I committed to playing the part, or having the shot, sorry. Mikic flicks that, but it's not going to find a teammate. No 4th goal for us still. But let's be honest, 3's enough. Rodrigo with the entire half to himself. And you absolutely expect a player of his quality to bury that every single time. And again, to reiterate, Rodrigo has not played to the calibre of player that we know that he is. He's got to bury that. Took the extra touch, and it's killed him. I can't be too critical. I've definitely done that myself in the past, but I'm not playing with 91 rated players. Makoko, Sara, Dibbling, Makoko, roll the man, and 4! Brilliant save by Jurgensen. Maybe should have tried to finesse that into the bottom corner, low down. Went for shot power, didn't work. Watara on the attack. Asher, Makoko. Oh, not Makoko. Sambi Lukonga's actually had a very good game, I have to be honest. As the lowest rated player in their starting lineup, I didn't expect that from him. But ultimately, one man's good game doesn't make a team performance. And in the 90th minute, we are definitely going to get a solid win here away from home at St James's Park. It's been the venue of a number of batterings over the years for us, not necessarily in this save, but certainly in multiple saves over the course of the channel history. Chikwueze off the bench here, trying to get one back. They won't. A win and a 3-goal victory. Doesn't get easier than that most of the time. Fulham next. And then the game against Palace in the Cup. Okay, that changes the plan for the rest of the month then. Sarah wanted to play, did play and played well. Fulham are 14th and we're at home. So I think it will be a simmed game against Fulham and Leicester. And we'll play the Cup game against Palace because, quite frankly, you know how good Crystal Palace are in this save. And I absolutely am not running the risk of simulating a game like that either. I was kind of hoping for a bit more of a straightforward cup run in the FA Cup. We haven't gotten it. What was the score last time we played Palace? It was a 3-3 draw. I'm sure at the beginning of the season they beat us, or was that maybe last year? We haven't played Palace for a second time in the Premier League yet this season. A 3-3 draw there. And then do we have them tomorrow? Oh no. April, Palace there. So, okay, 3-3 draw last time we played them. It will be away from home at Selhurst Park again. You can see there we are 2 points off the top of the Premier League table. Palace are in 4th and chasing. This is our potential opponent here. Urbig, Hartman, Walker, Anderson, Tanton, Doak, Kirk. Oh, they're midfield again. Yeah, I forgot how strong their midfield is. And to be fair, they've got some good options on the bench as well. But we're strong. Are we strong enough here? In fact, I'm going to give Sara the start over Clarkson again. And Asher certainly deserves a start after his performance in the last game too. Can we get a win at home against Fulham? No, it's a 2-2 draw. We nearly won it, but Miranda equalised with 5 minutes to go. An even game and an even points tally each. Man United lose at Molineux. With 3 days to go to Leicester. I'm going to make sure that my finances are up to date. And then we are going to have a go at getting a win there. And Mukoko will get the start against Leicester for sure. Yeah, they'll be the only changes that we make, I think. So let's see if we can get a win against Leicester away from home instead. They are down the bottom end of the table, and Luvumbo got sent off. And with 10 men, at the end of the day, we lost, conceding another goal in the 85th minute late on. Concentration levels not high enough for this Bradford City side at the moment. Maybe this is the point that we were making about Bergstrom. Is having a 79 rated goalkeeper making a difference in these simulated games? Maybe. We certainly played a couple more fringe players in that one. And you can see there, as we make the point, 9 clean sheets in the Premier League so far and the clean sheet leader in this competition. So Bergstrom isn't getting taken out of the starting lineup, but certainly maybe we do, rather than having a lower rated backup, we do sign a higher rated backup and put him in for simulated games. Probably the right thing to do in a video game sense. Occasionally, we do have to factor in the video game when it comes to the save, as opposed to just solely doing things the realistic way. Palace still playing their 5 at the back here. Vincent Kuhn in goal, Charles Armstrong, Isaac Defoe, Chadi Riyad is a new name in there, Esri Konsa and Federico Di Marco, David Ozo and Manuel Gallardo in midfield. They don't have that many good centre mids, Crystal Palace. Gallardo's a cam, actually, and there is a slightly higher, or an in-between, another cam as well. But in terms of centre mid, Ozo's the best they've got. Out on the right-hand side, Katamo starts ahead of a not fully fit alternative. I can't remember who it was. Was it Saeed? There was someone else that normally plays wide right for them, and I forget who it was off the top of my head. Oh, It's Don Angelo Canado, our former player. He's not fit, so doesn't start, and isn't in the squad, actually. Victor Boniface starts up top, and Igor Duarte on the left-hand side. Of course, they do have Conrad Harder here as well. Eddie Nketiah is here too, but I'm not quite so scared of him, quite frankly. Starting lineup has Agbinon, Mukoko, Sara, and Tickle in it. Bulat looking for Dibbling. Great take, needs the support. Mukoko arrives in said support. Now Sara on his left. And that skewed awkwardly. Sara arrived at a good spot there. If I'd have twigged that it was Sara quickly enough, I would have pulled the trigger slightly earlier. Oh, he's done me there. Armstrong brilliantly against Ouattara. Long ball's going to have to get drawn across here to Katamo, who has been very good against us previously, but on this occasion has the ball taken away from him, and now Ouattara's had enough of defending. He wants to get involved going the other way. And Agbanon has tucked one defender towards him, which has drawn another defender towards him, and Mukoko fires this 1-0 up in the FA Cup. Mukoko made his debut for the club in the FA Cup and grabbed a goal against Wickham. It's actually taken him less time to score against a significantly better opponent. We lead. Why would you bowl it underarm rather than throw it over the top? Why has their player passed it rather than shoot with an open goal? None of that made sense on any level from a footballing point of view. Agbanon is tucked inside here. And can they deal with the pace? No. Oh, I should have passed it. No, it's all right. We got away with it. Just able to get there first. Asher Agbanon is, well, in the form of his life on the left-hand side. He doesn't normally do this well out there, but he's making... He wasn't great out there, which is why Smith Rowe got a run, because Smith Rowe actually turned up. Then Smith Rowe's form has dropped off, and now Asher Agbanon is really challenging Lancashire for being the most informed player in the side. Spinning back, Dibbling. Bulat quickly through the gap. And Mustafa Mukoko. And Dibbling. Good save. We're dominating. We're really dominating. This side has got a real flow to it at the minute. We just can't help ourselves but be in great form. We made a couple of changes for a number of the games we've played today, actually. Mukoko on the spin and could score a third. Good block by DeVoe. In the minute, we are unplayable. I say that after having lost to Arsenal recently and drawn with Wolves recently. So there absolutely are games where we don't perform, but there are absolutely more games at the minute where we are clearly the better side than there are games where we're not. And most of that, I think, is down to the fact that the gameplay is difficult to get the gameplay more difficult than it currently is with the sliders and with FCIQ in its first iteration. Certainly, I found the gameplay more difficult last year, but anything we do with gameplay this year isn't going to make it more difficult than it currently is. And I think also we found a tactics set that I'm really comfortable with. Every now and then you find a formation and a set of tactics that you just click with. And we've really clicked with what we found in this save since, what was it, Season 3 when we switched to this? Might even been Season 2 after playing 4-4-2 in the first season in League 2. But we've been very, very happy with the way that we've been set up tactically for a number of years now. And it's also lent itself to the success we've had. It's been a mixture of things. Gameplay not being as difficult as previous years. A tactic set that I'm really comfortable with and particularly happy with. And us having inflated financial power throughout the course of the save because of the size of facilities we've had here at Bradford, which we absolutely won't have in 26. This has been a learning curve for that, for future iterations of the realistic RTG, for sure. And it's definitely something we're going to take on board moving forward. We're just going to enjoy it whilst it lasts here at Bradford before we move on to the next save. Also, bit of room to get into here. Tinked over the top. Longall's forceful as ever. The centre-back. Nkoko trying his best to turn away from a number of different players there. Duarte. They're in. Harder. Harder again. Ooh. Actually, a not bad effort, to be fair, considering the angle that he was taking it at. Gallardo with the corner for Palace. They're still trying to cause us some late problems here. And maybe get themselves through to the next round of the FA Cup. But as it stands, They're absolutely not doing that. Is that a foul, ref? It is. A quick free kick would have been nice to catch them on a counter with all of their, or the majority of their players still further forward from the corner. Nice ball into Moukoko there. Agbanon around the corner. Back to Moukoko. I don't really have much in the way of support, but here comes Marco Bula. And from here, never mind. I still thought maybe it'd find that bottom corner. I tried to whip it. It didn't quite work. Touch was a little bit further backwards, but he's still done well to wrap his foot around that. And it really wasn't that far away, was it? Harder. Oh. I just fully committed to that and got absolutely nowhere near it. Good save by Tickle. Wickets will lump it. Well, it's going to find a teammate. Also has won that. Actually, he is going to find a teammate. 3 minutes added on. I did make some changes not long ago, but we're not going to get the chance to come on, but that's fine. It's not a problem. This is going to be us through to the round of 16 of the FA Cup. I think this was the 5th round. 6th round might be the quarterfinals, you know. We might be through to the quarters of the FA Cup here with this victory over Crystal Palace. We'll have to have a look when we get back to the menus. Liverpool beat Sunderland. Spurs beat Reading. Both games going as you would perhaps have expected them to. And yeah, that was the round of 16. Leeds beat Chelsea on penalties. Blackburn and Ipswich we'd feel confident of beating both. Wolves and Blackpool. Wolves we drew with most recently, but we have to be confident in ourselves of beating either of those. Luton we fancy ourselves against. City not so much. Nor Liverpool. Spurs, well, they're down the bottom, actually genuinely properly threatened with relegation at the minute, Tottenham Hotspur. They are, in fact, in the relegation zone. Last time we checked, they were out of it, but they're now in the bottom 3. Spurs could go down. Now, that really would be quite the turn up for the books for an FC save. We've seen Tottenham get relegated in Football Manager before. We've seen Liverpool get relegated in the Southampton save back in the day on FIFA 18. But only on those 2 occasions have we seen a big club like that actually get relegated out of the Premier League. Spurs might be making it a 3rd occasion here. Luvumbo's now available again after his straight red card, although we should probably give him a 2-game ban at most, or at least for a straight red. Don't know the manner in which the straight red came about, but certainly the fact that you got a straight red should be more than a 1-game ban. Bournemouth, West Ham and Villa as it stands for the next month, but we will have an FA Cup quarter-final to fit in somewhere soon. That's all for today's episode though. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop the video a like if you're not subscribed to the channel as well. Make sure you do that too. And absolutely, Davidenki's reminded me that Spurs did get relegated in a previous save, but that was when the game bugged and didn't give them a goalkeeper, and they're playing an outfield player in goal all season long. So I don't know really as I can count that. But you're right, we have had Spurs be relegated before on FC as well. Well remembered. I'd forgotten. I'm sure a number of you in the comment section remembered as well. That's all for us today. 7 points off the top of the table now with a little wobble in form with the Fulham and Leicester games, but still very much fighting for a Champions League spot at the minute. I'll see you tomorrow.